The hardest part about making content for your gym isn't the filming or the editing, it's figuring out what to make in the first place. Every gym owner knows they need to be making content. The problem isn't motivation, it's opening up your phone and just seeing a blank screen. What do you even film? What do you make? What's the hashtag? Do I use hashtags? In this episode of Run a Profitable Gym, I sit down with Two Brain Gym Owner of the Year, Joe Strada, to talk all things content. He's gone viral many times, getting millions of likes on TikTok, but what's actually bringing in new clients through his door every month is his connection content and the ability to take a trend and make it his own. We're gonna break down 8 real examples of his content, and by the end, you'll know exactly how to do the same thing for your gym. I'm John Franklin, the CEO of Two Brain Business, the world's largest gym mentorship company, working with over 3,500 gym owners to help them hit 6 figures in profit because yes, it is possible. This is a fun one. Joe walking us through each piece of content himself. He's a hilarious guy, breaking down how he made it work and why it worked for him. Let's get right into it.
Hello, Joe Strada. We are celebrating today, my friend, because you just won Two Brain Business Gym Owner of the Year. Welcome to the after party.
Let's go.
I know you have your award. Let me give you a little champagne. Congratulations.
Yeah, amazing. The real reward right here, right?
Cheers to you, my friend. Give her a
Cheers.
crack right on the mic.
Very crispy.
I'm going to pour mine over the rocks because I'm a little classy. Now,
Do you ever see the guy, the connoisseur that does all the Monster reviews? He's like an actual wine taster. It's pretty cool.
so speaking of that, we're going to be talking about content. And if you're unfamiliar with Joe Strada, he's the owner of Unleashed Strength. And I've been talking a lot about his gym because he has amazing founder-led content. He shows his personality, his personal brand, and integrates it perfectly into the gym. And one of the things Joe loves is a white monster. If you head over to the Unleashed Strength Instagram, you will see plenty of posts about that. Aside from white monster, Joe, tell people about your gym.
Sure. So we are a gym out of Northern Virginia, Manassas Park to be specific, and we've been around for about 7 years now. So we are started as a fully access gym. We've transitioned to access, but also one-on-one and small group training models as well, added those in. And yeah, we continue to grow, continue to learn. I've got a team of 6 trainers now. And yeah, this is my first time at Summit. So super excited to just come out and be learning and drinking through a fire hose a little bit this weekend and figuring out all the ways we can take our gym to the next level. We're in a good spot, but I know there's more to learn, more to do.
And in terms of content, right, which is one of the things that I think you do better than most gyms in the world, how'd you get your start?
It's a good question. Because so honestly, we started making content before the gym opened. I knew...
When you say we, who's we?
I guess when we started, it was my wife and I. Even before that, one of my other buddies who was going to open the gym with me. And we were just like, one day we'll open a gym. We should start an Instagram channel. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be, but we just post our workouts. We started writing some blog posts. I knew content, and this was, dating myself, but, 10, 11 years ago when we were content is up and coming. I mean, it was a big thing already, but it's this is going to be even more important. And we kind of saw that. And, looking back, of course, there's always I wish you'd doubled down even harder kind of thing. And we knew it was going to be something. So we started making content just here's our workouts, here's what we're doing. My wife started getting more involved in that content side of things. And once we had the gym, and then even once we were going to open the gym, it was a place where we could start talking about it. Hey, it's coming soon. We're finally doing this. And people followed that journey up until actually opening. And once we actually had the gym location, the Instagram started growing a little bit more naturally, as a lot of gyms do. People start looking for the Instagram before they come to the gym and that kind of thing. And so, yeah, we just started making posts, and it was nothing fancy when we first started, for sure. It was a way to communicate. It was a way to get some messaging out there. We started experimenting with some, more silly material here and there. But yeah, it's been pretty consistent over the past, like I said, decade plus of posting all types of content, pictures, stories, memes, skits, and yeah.
So the Unleashed Strength was an Instagram account before it was a gym?
It was actually Unleashed Fitness was how we started.
Okay.
And I wanted to... Unleashed Strength sounded better once we opened the gym.
And so I found you initially came onto my radar because you were getting a lot of traction on TikTok of all places. You're getting like millions of likes and dozens of dollars for those millions of likes.
Exactly. I don't think we've been paid yet. But.
And so how'd you crack that algorithm? How'd you figure out how to get views?
So when I started, is interesting with TikTok was, again, I'm maybe old. TikTok was coming out strong. It was right around COVID time. It was like right when we opened the gym, honestly, is like when it started to take off. And I noticed Instagram was like real quiet at that point. I think it was before Reels were really going. And it was like hard to get any kind of real traction. But I noticed people on TikTok posting these more short form when it was really starting to take off. And I just noticed it was real easy there were a lot of trends. TikTok at that point was like hugely trend loaded videos. And so I found it pretty easy just to trend hop on TikTok, honestly. Like there were certain things you'd see 5 of the same video in a row sometimes of like the same people doing the same things in different situations or scenarios or whatever. I found it relatively easy just to adapt it to the gym and started seeing, actually, I'm trying to think, one of my very first ones, it was early on. It was like right during COVID. I think it was like during shutdowns and everything. And, I had one, it was some gym injury video. It was like common, you bump your knee on the squat rack and like there's a few things and there was a weird sound and a weird filter that went with it. It took me 5 minutes to do and that popped off. It did like, my first, I think, million view video or whatever. And then I started getting tagged in someone else's video and it was another creator. There's a big creator who I'd been following for a long time with the same exact like cut for cut, scene for scene video. And of course it was a trend, it was not a big deal. Doing all the same stuff that I had just did. I was like, that's kind of crazy that like this big creator clearly saw my video. Like it was not just like the same trend, but it was like frame for frame and copied me. I was like, that's kind of cool. And so, anyway, that was just kind of like the start of like, this kind of relatively easy at that point. It's changed. The landscape has changed since then, but I just started enjoying like those trend hopping videos and it was a lot of fun. And that kind of got me into like making more consistent, like silly, goofy videos, or even just starting talking to the camera more.
By the way, we created a free custom GPT that will audit your gym's Instagram and identify spots in your social presence that may be costing you leads. If you want to try it out, click the link below or scan this QR code.
And so you got to cut your teeth on TikTok. You figured out how to identify trends, what works. Yeah. You got good at like that quick cutting short video format, which then Reels came out. Mm-hmm. And so you had that edge there because you're a powerlifting gym. And if you look at your Instagram, there's definitely some people lifting heavy on it. Like what percentage of your population's actually like serious powerlifting?
Sure. I mean, it's not huge. I would say like, 10% of people that are like, hey, they're really competing regularly / like lifting at a pretty high level. There's another 10, 20%. I mean, even more than that, there's another 30, 40% that are like really trying to get stronger and like lifting consistently. And there's another, I think 40% that are probably just in there to lose weight, move, get stronger, but like aren't the typical like powerlifting, mentality, and that's what's cool. I think like our general tie is like, I really want to lean into it this year, honestly, I think is really embrace strength training. That's like our core. That's our fundamental. I think I've had trouble like going all in on that because I want to cater to everybody. But at the same time, I think we can do that. Our whole motto is strength is for everyone. And like, I think we can do that, cater to everyone while still having a core fundamentals of like, we're a strength training gym and be proud of that.
We talked about how TikTok likes led to dozens of dollars. How'd your style have to change a little bit to adapt to like actually growing your gym rather than just like getting attention on the internet?
For sure. So one thing is kind of interesting. TikTok is really good. And this is something I always like whenever I talk about it, realize like, man, I need to do more on TikTok. They're super good at geolocation and like tagging when you post something, it definitely shows your videos to people in your area. Instagram does it a little bit. It seems to me like anecdotally less so, but TikTok, I literally would have a video pop off and I'd have people commenting in the comments, I live right down the street from this gym. This is insane. And like, I had people sign up from some viral videos. So
it wasn't that you were getting members from TikTok.
There definitely were some signups. Again, it's hard to quantify and it's hard to say it was a ton, but I did have people say, I found you from that stupid video you posted last week. Like, and so that was cool. I know we're gonna maybe go over some videos later, and then like there were some actually direct 1-for-1 made a video, got a sale. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, it's obviously adapted. I know we talk about this, you know, in different presentations and content where it's like trying to be 5 Mile famous too, which is obviously a different strategy than just going viral and blowing up, because that only has so much effect if you're reaching someone across the country not coming to your gym tomorrow. So I have found myself doing a mix of content, I think, at this point on it, focusing mostly on Instagram because that's where the majority of our members are, as well as it seems like a lot of attention on Instagram right now and Reels. So I've definitely focused a lot there now, to where I'm posting a mix of content from memes and trends and stuff like that, which I find to be a little like easier to post, to more storytelling, some higher quality content. Sometimes it's event updates or whatever. And just having that mix of content that, you know, to get that whole funnel covered, where it's like you get the top of funnel where you a large reach and just a fun video, and maybe even some brand building with that, because you know, talk about that in a little bit too, but how it kind of makes people perceive your brand. But then also some of the more bottom of the funnel, where your interactions with direct members or stories from your members or stuff like that. So I've found a mix of content now at this point to be relatively effective.
So we got some of the Unleash Strength greatest hits here. Why don't we watch a couple pieces of content and maybe talk through it?
Yeah, I'm excited. Let's do it. A good one. A good one.
This would be an example of like a meme style, like
this was yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's definitely like more of a meme skit, funny one. What I like about it, this one in particular, is that you can clearly see there's half a dozen people involved in this. So sometimes it's me literally going out to my members and just like, hey, don't help me with this stupid video. And it sometimes, you know, people who are like a little more shy or hesitant and stuff, but there's a lot of people who are really excited to be a part of it and who are like, you know, I have a couple of these guys are regulars in my videos and they really like being a part of it. So that's something I think is a lot of fun. And this is like, it's had a good example of getting your community involved with some of your content, and kind of like you guys do such a good job of it too, where it's like you are either recognizing people, putting them on a pedestal, or like letting them be a part of what you guys are doing with your branding and everything. People are happy to do it.
All right, let's see what the next one we got here is.
First time failing 4 plates in a long time.
My most viral video ever.
Oh well, I'll get it next time.
So this one was interesting. Again, I think this actually was another repost, because you actually noticed it is my caption. Can we get another 5 million views? Because the original one was I think 5.2 million, and this one was actually interesting. Another good case study. So it's pretty easy to see what's happening. Like I failed the squat and then re-rack it, and everyone's disappointed as if I actually failed it, but I clearly didn't fail it. Anyway, a lot of this was because confusion. People arguing in the comments, not understanding what was happening. So it was kind of funny because, yeah, this is also an example of video that went viral. It's the most views I've ever gotten, but I barely got any followers from it. So it was kind of interesting.
Really?
It was not a very, I guess, like sticky piece of content. There was a lot of people arguing in the comments and just like watching it or rewatching it and like trying to understand it. So it was a lot of fun. I did actually make this a series. So I did this with a bench press, and I did it with a failed front squat into a clean and re-rack. And same thing, everyone just like arguing or confused, but all 3 of them did well. So the first one did 5 million, the second one did 1 million, and then the third one did like 800,000. So like that's something I will say, and I probably could have run it even farther, but if you do have something that hits like that and you do get that virality, if you can figure out a way to make that some sort of, whether it's a trend, whether it's you just keep that going and kind of stretch it out a little farther, there's some easy views right there for sure.
That is such a solid piece of advice, and something I'm glad you brought up, right? If you have something like, people when they're creating feels like everything's got to be different, but when the reality is like, nobody watched it the first time. Even if it got 5 million views, nobody watched it, right? You forgot what you watched. You're just scrolling. It's very passive activity. Like you're not like remembering, oh, I watched this viral video like 3 months ago.
Right.
If you got something that works, do it again, 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 again. I have a style of content on my Instagram that every time I post it, I get like between 200 and 1,000 followers.
That's awesome.
And we've just like done that 11 times now because, and it's the same format, the same structure, the same start, the same end every single time. And it works every single time. And you mentioned something interesting where this got a lot of views. It didn't get a lot of followers. So I think gym owners need to set their intention when they go onto social, right? It's like, do you want to get a lot of views? Is the idea to get a gazillion followers? Or are you just trying to grow your gym, right? Like I never set out to get followers. I set out to get people to find out about Two Brain and book a call with us. And so a lot of times the worst posts from a views and like standpoint hit the hardest and generate the most sales momentum.
Sure.
And so this is an example of a great piece of content that's awesome, top of funnel, brings a lot of attention to the brand. But like you said, no follows, no likes downstream. But
Exactly.
you know, worth doing over and over and over again because you know that's whatever 10 million eyeballs across all the posts, series, reposts, etc.
Exactly. And this one was relatively easy to do. Just had to squat 405 and had some people in the background yelling. And this was a repost, like I said, and the repost did pretty well, all things considered too. So it's fun to try to repost if you got a really good one. It's easy to do.
All right, next one.
All right, so warming up is important, but I would say what's more important is
A
warming
little
up
less,
specifically.
not a
to what
funny
you're about
one,
to
a
do.
little more informative one.
Load management is probably the most important thing you can learn as especially a strength athlete, but also for other sports and other training styles. Honestly, if you learn how to properly manage load in the gym, you will be unstoppable. Lifting belt. I'm actually going to say it's not important, so don't hate me here. It's not important for you to get strong or get big to have a lifting belt. People think that lifting belts are there for like safety. It's the proper way to do
So this is
things,
like a
but
value
it's
piece of
not.
content.
It's important for
Exactly.
certain
Demonstrating
areas of
some
lifting,
expertise
like
here.
Powerlifting, it's going to help you lift more, but it's not important objectively to have a lifting belt. Protein is super important from a recovery standpoint, from a strength
I had to
building,
make it
muscle
sound like
building
someone else
standpoint.
was doing the
From a feeling
voiceover.
standpoint, if there's one macro you're going to track, I would track protein.
Protein timing.
Okay, so protein's important. Protein timing. Pretty sure the latest research says that protein timing does not matter. It's more important to get your overall total protein goals.
So yeah, so it was a pretty basic video. I think I saw someone else do it. I can't remember who exactly it was, but it was like a content creator who taught how to create content, and her whole business is around that. And she did something like that, like what is important in timing of your posts, hashtags, blah, blah, blah. Went down the whole list of like important, not important. Just a quick adaptation to that. Something like this, either not funny, but it's like, oh, this adds a little bit of, like you said, expertise. Someone to go and check out the video, like, oh, this is some cool coaching, some cool tips, establishing you as a little bit of an authority. So easy one to make. Didn't take much effort. So yeah,
I like that one too because the first two were like a little more viral, top of funnel stuff, and this is like we're showing some expertise and
Exactly.
and building your brand as well.
for sure. Hey, same shirt.
Oh, here we go, dude. We could recreate this right now. There we go.
Got a trash bag real quick. So I will admit, this was more of a direct copy video. I just had seen several people make this one. What are we gonna do with the leftover? I think I saw hamburgers or like food. I really don't remember if I saw a drink one or not. So maybe it was an adaptation one, or I can't remember if it was a copy or an adaptation. But just ridiculous. I guess same thing. One of my friends that's regularly in my content. As soon as I showed him, he was like excited to go. Let's do it. Get the trash bag, cut a hole, and just stupid, just something silly. I don't think that one did particularly well, but the comments liked it. Stuff like that too. It's interesting, even if the ones that don't do viral necessarily to 100 likes or a couple hundred likes, a few thousand views. A lot of our members follow us on Instagram and see it, and oftentimes I'll get even like in-person reactions, like, "Oh my gosh, saw that video yesterday. That was hilarious." Whatever, like. So there's a little bit natural brand building within the community that happens with some of these posts too. And just like, I get a lot of members that send me videos regularly. You should recreate this. You should make this video. Can we do this next week, please? So like, there's almost like a bit of a expectation now that we're going to make silly videos, and the members get excited to see it.
And does your gym have kind of like this funny, irreverent brand about it? Like if I walk into your gym, is everyone kind of clowning around like that?
I think everyone's having fun. So like, we definitely we got some amazing lifters in the gym. People take their lifting and workouts seriously, but that doesn't mean we're like uptight and take ourselves super seriously too. I think there's a balance to be had. You can walk up to anyone in the gym, even the hardcore guys, and interrupt them to help get a spot or whatever, and they'll drop whatever they're doing. I actually had a lady sit down at the desk with me for a no sweat intro. She was scared. Like she was like, what the hell am I doing here? Kind of like she was very nervous. I was really trying to reassure her. I was like, I promise you. I called out one of the guys over there. He's a 6'5", 340-pound strong man, bald, big beard, one of the strongest guys in the gym. He's a massive dude. It's like, you can go up to him right now and tap him on the back and interrupt his workout mid-lift. And he would stop what he was doing and excuse me and help you out. And like, what can I do to help you out? And actually he was walking by as we were finishing up, and I got him, I was like, Caleb, talk to her real quick. And he's like, yeah. And just like, it was perfect. It was a perfect timing. He's like, oh my gosh, like great to meet you. Welcome to the gym. Like we'd be happy to have it. And it was just one of those things where we can, again, I think some of this content helps kind of show that too, where it's like big, scary, intimidating environment, actually lots of fun people who are just having a good time and training hard too.
So are you following like a structured content process, or it's like, I'm going to make content today and you just start ripping through for inspiration, you go?
Yeah, this is one of the things I want to start working on for sure. Cause it's, I keep saying it and I know I need to take it more seriously. You know how it is. It's just like, there's always other things to be doing at a gym or for your business. And so like sometimes I get distracted and I want to make content for the day. And then I got a little time to do that. And then I like don't have anything ready to go. So one of my goals this year is to be much more intentional about planning my content and having a little more structure to it. So right now, it's been a weakness of mine that it's been more sporadic. I have weeks where I crank out a bunch of good stuff and I get more inspired, and other weeks where I don't put the effort into like the plan and the execution. So that's something that's been, like I said, I've struggled with, and that I want to like really improve. It's on my to-do list for this year.
So where are you going to get inspired?
Sure. So it's a mix. Sometimes I have a little bit of just, day-to-day life. Something happens in the gym, like this would make a funny video, and we go with it. Other times it's through scrolling, and this is something, maybe a pro tip. Don't engage, if you're on your business page, like have one of your Instagram profiles, don't engage with videos that you don't want to recreate, if that makes sense, or types of videos. Like Instagram knows you really well, and as soon as you start liking, you see like a video where it has like 5 likes and like 1,000 shares because it's someone playing the guitar and it's terrible, something like that. You like even linger on that or like that video or something like that or laugh at it. It's going to show you a bunch more just like degen videos like that. And that's not helpful at all for inspiration for your videos, or like you start liking cat videos or whatever. It's just going to start showing you those. So if you can have maybe like save your business profile and only engage with videos that you're like, maybe it's gym videos, maybe it's trend videos, maybe it's educational videos, whatever, content creation, like, and you can really curate your feed to be an inspiring feed. I think that's very helpful. And then I have a save folder that I just have content ideas. And so whenever time I see something like, I can make that with the gym, I just do that. So then next time I do go to create something, I got some time to make something, that's the first place I'll go to just to get inspired real quick. And like, oh yeah, I remember that. That's I can make that real quick and just, edit it to make it mine. So
That's funny that you say that, because when I started engaging with your content, I actually made a reel about a carousel that I think we're going to review here. Mm-hmm. I started just getting all kinds of White Monster content, which is a full niche. Like I just get bombarded with White Monster videos, and I believe I sent one to you.
Yeah,
and that just made it way worse.
So funny. I like White Monster, but the reason I use it in my videos is just because White Monster is a meme in itself. Yeah. So I just if I use some obscure energy drink, it's not as funny as a White Monster.
Iconic, the classic.
Exactly. Good old AI post.
This is a recent trend, right? This is like that follower trend.
My Google search was literally how many gerbils are in 405 pounds? And yeah, just someone saw my notes. I was writing all the conversions down, and my trainer was like, platypus? What the hell are you writing?
I don't lift in kilos. I lift in gerbils.
Exactly. So yeah, so this was, like you said, this was a trend recently. I saw the first guy that posted it. I couldn't find it again. It was kind of weird. I saw like other people who did it that had less, but the first guy I did, I think he had tens of millions of views on his video, and it was like, here's what 100 followers looks like, and it zoomed out, and then here's what 1,000 followers looks like. It was really cool. It was very well done. I thought it looked dope. Yeah, it's just one of those ways, like how can I adapt this? And to me, it was like people's, and it's kind of, it's almost like 2 steps removed from the original idea, which is when I go back to like, how can you make it your own and twist it a little bit? You know, I was like, okay, well, what does it look like to have 100 members in the gym? Like, no, this makes sense. Like, I was trying to like think through it a little bit. Basically, the whole idea of the original video was your perception of a number is probably off, and what it actually really means. So I was gonna do like, oh, it's actually really impressive if you deadlift 300 pounds. Here's what 300 pounds looks like in some other form that makes more sense. And then I was going to do like a single animal, but then I just thought it was kind of funnier to do like hundreds of gerbils. And I don't know.
It was funny. I laughed.
Kind of funny. So it almost went from like I was going to be in a more inspiring post to just a meme post and something funny, and just, yeah.
And so that requires like editing skills and AI skills. And I don't think we talked about that yet, but so for making AI images like that, I'm assuming you're using like a nano banana or something like that, right?
That one was actually just the free version of ChatGPT.
Okay, so you're just like,
easy.
Here's this picture, put 2,000 gerbils in it?
Essentially. And trying to get the right number of gerbils was hard. I was doing the math probably for too long, because I was like, engineering background. I was doing the volume of the pyramid based on the number of gerbils and stuff. So I was like, this is actually 5,000 gerbils. I need to make it a little more accurate. So I went back and forth with ChatGPT arguing about the size of the pyramid of gerbils.
Yeah, because the details matter.
Details matter, and probably not as much as I wanted them to, but.
And so for editing a thing like that, like let's see, a gym owner sees a video, they have a funny take on it. Sure. Like, how are they getting the audio?
The audio was easy. The audio was the easiest part, honestly, because you can just, I believe that one, I literally just you can just save the audio on Instagram. I use edits a lot on Instagram edits. You can open the sound in edits and then just import all your clips. So I took those photos by myself, set my camera up, literally just took 4 photos, no, 8 photos, no, 4 photos. 5 if you include the one with the barbell. So like, yeah, 5 photos of myself doing different poses, and then argued with ChatGPT for a half an hour to get the right pictures.
The most important part.
And then just put them all together and added a slight camera pan just to make it a little more movement, which probably wasn't even necessary. And I also had ChatGPT just edit. ChatGPT edits photos too, which is kind of dope. Yeah. I just said, make it look more dramatic. And then that's all it was.
I have made this mistake before though. I took a picture of my family after, like, with my kids after doing Murph.
Sure.
And I was like, make it like a little brighter because the background was dark. And I thought it was like decent, and I just like posted it, and then like people started messaging my wife like, "That's not your daughter," and it like just changed her face into like this mutant warp face. And it was like some serious post. It was like, we support your, like, honoring the troops, and like something serious. And it was like, amazing. And Murph is like not something you want to like, lie about doing.
Of course,
you don't want to do AI Murph. So
definitely not.
Yeah, I learned my lesson the hard way there. So if you're doing your face,
double check.
yes. Funny. All right, let's check out this.
When was your last successful bowel movement?
Last one was in 2021. I'm trying to redeem myself, and yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
What's the hardest part about sports betting? Oh my gosh.
Setting up, right? Because there's a million and one things you got to remember to do. You got to pay out referees. Communicate well, communicate often.
What was your favorite part about prison?
The community and the snacks.
Why are you trying to go back?
Because I need something to smile about.
What is your favorite year of all time?
1,300!
How many chicken nuggets could you eat in one sitting?
525.
How do you deal with annoying coworkers?
I think I'm gonna hit 9 out of 9 today.
Are there any benefits to being in a gang?
The communal lifting up of each other.
How many guys have you left at the altar?
2.
Do you have a word for that?
Bailing.
Why do you color code your list of enemies?
I would say to keep structure.
Okay. So yeah, that was not the carousel. That was another trend video, but that was like, again, interviewing people, changing their questions to make them sound crazy. Which was, we had a powerlifting meet this past weekend. I knew I wanted to make a bunch of content around it. I just wanted to grab some sound bites from some of the lifters, some of our friends. Most of those were members. Same thing, that they all were excited to be in little interviews. And then I saw that trend going around. I was like, I've got all these interview clips. I could just change the answers. This would be hilarious. I actually messaged them ahead of time just to let them know. I was like, are you good if I use you and make you sound ridiculous? And they're all like, yes, please. Like, they're all like, same thing. They were excited to be a part of it. And then tried to toe the line between not getting too dark and too inappropriate, but also having fun with it. So I think we walked the line pretty well there.
What's cool about that, if you have a following like your gym, you're bringing the members in, they're going to comment on that, right?
For sure.
And then their friends are going to see it, and their friends live in your market.
Right.
And so that gives you exposure and tying them in, right? And that's similar to what we're doing here. You know, a lot of gym owners follow you now. We do this video, and now they're going to see what we have going on.
Exactly.
So like putting your members and your clients into your content and doing it in a fun way like that, I like that as a great, like that's a elevated version of trend hopping versus some of the earlier ones we saw.
Right. And that one did, like you said, the comments, people really, it was an engaging discussion in the comments, just like laughing, and like people were making comments, responding to people's answers and stuff too. So it just like furthers the conversation too.
All right. So we talked a lot about reels and trend hopping and editing and posting consistency. This is like actually one of my favorite posts of yours that you've done, because it's funny, it's reverent, but it actually pushes people down the funnel. So it does a good job of not just like entertaining random people on the internet or making your members laugh, but it actually makes people want to buy from you. So walk me through this one.
And it has a white monster in it.
Of course.
So this was a post inspired. So I follow Shannon McKinstry. She's a content creator, and she does a really good job of like sharing posts to use for inspiration and copy. And so there was things that should be in every house or something like that. And it went through like a bunch of little house hacks or something like that. And so I was inspired to do something similar. Didn't expect this kind of success with this post. But same thing, I tried to add some flair to it. So like this is something that could be a very boring post to make if I just took a picture of our bench press and like a good bench press and like, oh cool, a squat rack. Like, so I tried to make every post something that was some engagement. The caption that was a little funny, or like a unique picture of it. So, walking through it, I did a very similar startup photo to the original post that I was using for inspiration. Something we have at the gym. We're only 6,000 square feet. We've got a ton of squat racks, and people always talk about like who come to a strength training gym. One of the biggest complaints about commercial gyms is there's only 2 places to squat. We've got 11. So it's like, okay, we're immediately attracting a certain type of person that would be interested in our gym. Our bowls of chalk, I think, are unique, and they've got random stuff in them. There's little ammonia bottles that are just like mystery things that some people don't know what they are and smell them and like pass out and like whatever. So just kind of walking through this is my mom actually deadlifting grandmas. And so like a bunch of things that are more unique, at least one corner of pain and misery. So like just trying to show some of the unique factors that I know there are some people out there who will see that photo and be like, this is exactly the gym that I want, with a little bit of like kind of humorous explanation there too. This is actually the gentleman that I talked about earlier, who's this big, scary, strong man. But like we all laugh as like, oh, it's a good gym is going to have those big, scary guys that are super nice. And anyone, again, who's been to a strength training gym like that knows exactly who I'm talking about, and can probably list a couple of them too. Same thing. We got a couple ladies in the gym who are stronger than most guys, like in general, and just like Heather's a beast. She's squats 400 pounds and she weighs like $140 or something. Like she's a monster, and the nicest girl in the gym too. She's awesome. So anyway, just kind of again adding our own flair to this kind of thing, and this was one of my more successful posts in general too. Obviously, like a view and like, but what I noticed, this was a huge follower booster for us. So like I said, we've gone viral and get 0 followers. We're at almost like 200 followers from this post, which is a lot for us at least. So that was really cool to see some actual conversion from that. Whether or not, like I said, I don't think anyone necessarily ran to the gym to sign up. It's like, oh, this resonated with people, and checked both boxes of it. Got good reach and good followers and good like comments. You can see 290. I think it had 100 and something saves too. So it was cool. It kind of checked all the boxes. So to your point, you said it was one of your favorite posts of mine. I actually really like this post too because it kind of checked several boxes, not just viral, but also like sticky content too.
I think that's part of evolving, right? And that was part of your journey. It's like I fell victim to this when I first started getting attention on the internet. I started on Twitter, and there was like formats that would do really well and they'd get a lot of impressions. And then I realized like, oh, like that's cool. It's getting a bunch of likes and views, but it's not really driving the objective. And so like, I think just asking yourself, like, why are you on the platform? What is the goal of doing this? And I think this serves, like, you're obviously very good at trend hopping. Like you've got that down in the strength corner of the world. And it's nice to see that some of your more recent stuff is definitely a little more conversion based.
Yeah. It was also a little hopeful for me, and maybe this is a lesson to be learned, but like I've posted carousels before, and honestly, every carousel I've ever posted has flopped. This is the first carousel I've ever posted that actually got traction and did well. And a couple of reasons I think that did it. I think there was like intrigue from the very first slide. I think there was, again, a little humor tied to it. It also was like a little more niche down, directed towards people that you were calling out a certain avatar of people, I think. But I think there's also just like trying new things out too. Whereas like, again, I posted a bunch of carousels that all flopped, and it's been frustrating. I didn't want to post this. I was like, I hope this does something. I hope it does a little, I think it's a good post. I hope it does well. And it did, thankfully. My next carousel, complete flop.
It's all right. Like, you only need one to rip,
Exactly.
So pin posts are something I talk a lot about. It's the first thing a prospect sees when they're creeping on your Instagram. I think you got a good one. Let's watch it.
This is my husband, Joe. 6 years ago, he gave up his engineering career to chase the wild dream of opening a gym. Not because it made sense on paper, but because we'd never found a gym that truly felt like home. We wanted working out to be something you look forward to, not just checked off the list. So we started from scratch. We collected equipment piece by piece for 3 years before we even opened our doors. And when we opened, it was just us. Staffing, cleaning, repairs, training. Joe was still working a full-time job while I did photography on the side. Our setup was pretty bare bones at the start, mostly free weights, couple treadmills, but we promised to keep upgrading, improving, and investing back into the gym. Little by little, we closed the gap between us and other local commercial gyms. And the 24-hour access didn't hurt either. But what's really set us apart from the beginning is the community. Our community got us through the challenging beginning, through those crazy COVID times shortly after, and through our growing pains since. Through it all, our community has kept us alive and helped us become what we are today. And now, we're building the next chapter. Bigger events, better training, more competitions, because our motto, strength is for everyone, is something we believe in wholeheartedly. Everyone deserves a gym to call their home. So follow along with us as we keep chasing this crazy dream together to build something great.
Talk me through it, man.
Yeah. So you have to shout out again another creator, Michelle Lowe Horton. I've been following her for a little bit, and she has gone all in on like creating storytelling videos. And what attracted me to her content was this other business, a dry cleaner of all places, which is like the most boring brick and mortar, respectfully, right? Like thing you can think of, like dry cleaning clothes. And she took their page and blew them up using storytelling. They got a really cool story, immigrants, like a whole immigration story. It was awesome. They're really cool background, and showing how they built up this dry cleaners. So anyway, I took basically their video, and I've connected with her a few times and stuff, but I took this video on their page and their intro kind of origin story video, and basically re-scripted it to fit our story. And I actually ended up getting the transcript. It's something you can do, right? Get the transcript of a great video, put it into Claude or chat and be like, hey, ask me questions. I always like this tip too. Ask me questions. I want to make a video like this transcript, right? Ask me questions so I can fill in the blanks and recreate this script for my own video, basically. And so that's essentially what I did, and input all the important pieces of their story and redid it to mine to fit from a dry cleaners to a gym. And obviously we have different backgrounds, different experiences. And so it helped me craft this script. I also did the same thing because they had a hugely viral video. This one wasn't quite there, of course, but it was same thing. The main owner's wife talking about her husband and his story. I thought it was really cool. So I asked my wife, I said, here's your script. Could you just record it into the mic for me? And then got that audio. And then another tip, I just have I'm always trying to record and always have tons of B-roll from 7 years of gym ownership at this point. And before that, some of those clips were me riding in the car, documenting, looking for spaces and stuff. So easy for me to go through Google Photos, download clips, and just kind of smash them all together and relatively match them up. Do some auto captions. It's not overly difficult to do something like that. I think people see it like, oh, it's a lot of editing. It takes some time to do something like that, for sure. A more thoughtful, well-told story, etc. But again, you can use a lot of tools to do, and it doesn't have to be super flashy. It can be a bunch of camera roll, video footage that you kind of throw together over a nice story and call it a video,
So let's unpack that, because that's a much more powerful piece of content than any of the funnier trend-based ones that we talked about. Mm-hmm. And I think storytelling is an incredibly hard skill to master, but you gave a great tip there. It's find a piece of content that's based around a story that you like and it resonates with you. Mm-hmm. Take the transcript, pop it into Chat or Claude, and ask it, hey, ask me questions so we can make a similar script. Mm-hmm. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
And then from there, the having your wife do it, that's the nice touch. Was that always the intention, or?
Yeah, like I said, to me, it's that was the setting of the viral video that I was trying to emulate. So I figured let's just keep as many of the variables the same. Something about that video went viral for a reason. So let's have my wife read the script as well.
And the other nugget that's important is, if you've made it this far in the episode, you probably have an interest in creating content one day.
Sure.
One of the things that you said that was very helpful, white monster burp, is having a backlog of B-roll. So taking a lot of footage. That's something I regret. I don't have a ton of stuff from my early days of gym ownership. And now with all the tools, it makes it so easy to sort and find and take the pieces together. So you have a huge advantage over someone like me who maybe has 50 photos of 9 years of gym ownership.
Sure.
So we talked about AI, we talked about photos, videos, B-rolls, overlay, editing, storytelling. This is going to be overwhelming to someone who hasn't started yet or made their first piece of content or is maybe doing Canva templates. Mm-hmm. What would you say to a gym owner who's struggling to just make their first post?
I think spend some time, researching and finding types of content that you like and that you think you can emulate, whether it's other gyms, brands that you think, or your favorite creators that are doing a really good job of that. And there's nothing wrong with using them for inspiration and trying to make it your own. If there's certain types of content that you hate or don't like, or you don't want to do all the flashy edits, that's fine. Find the type of content that you do, because there are creators who have made it big, or brands that have done a really good job with all types of content, whether it's storytelling, memes, just photos, just carousels. It's all can be successful. So find what you enjoy doing. I trying to give this cliche, but it's yes, you do just have to kind of start and just start practicing. You got to get the reps in. I think, you talk about this before too, which is the consistency and keeping yourself to what are you going to do every day, or what are you going to do? How are you going to set your schedule? And just working out, I'm going to work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 days a week and get my workouts in. You can't really review and get better if you don't put the reps in. And again, a little cliche, but it's just true. You do need to practice and try things out and just get better. I have a background in engineering. I didn't go to school for videography or a creative degree by any means, but just someone looks at someone who's been in the gym for a while and is oh, well, you've always been strong, or you've always just had the natural ability. No, you put in the work, you put in the effort. It's a very similar thing.
Joe, thanks for doing this.
Anytime.
And if you're watching this and feeling a little overwhelmed, I encourage you to check out our video on the only social media strategy gym owners need. You can watch it here.